Hey nerdy ghouls, welcome back to my spooky oasis where we celebrate the magic of Halloween and spooky pop culture every day. If you can't already tell, today is a vampire day. I have been planning this probably for 2 weeks now, that I wanted to spend like an entire day celebrating vampires, having a vampire theme, vampire vibes, because Renfield came out this weekend. But Mr. Spooks is along for the ride with me today. And he's haunting his Not Another Spooky Podcast sweatshirt. He surprised me. But I haven't even had a drink of my coffee yet. So good. As you guys could see in the video, those ice cubes were not a vibe. They were so hard to like take out of the tray, and then when they melted, they did not look very cute. So yeah, they are definitely more of a like use with, I don't know, maybe I need to try it with like a cold drink or something else, because even though it's like iced coffee, it still comes out hot at the beginning. So yeah, I found out that there was actually a alleged vampire buried in Colorado, so we're gonna go see if we can find his grave, and then at some point I'm hoping some books I ordered from the library are ready, and we're gonna go see Renfield and literally take this through the night. So I can't wait to have this really fun day with you guys. Okay, it's been so windy today. We decided to stop by a flower shop to pick something up for the grave that we're visiting. I just have, if you followed me for a while, I feel weird about like glamorizing certain things, and I want to always like keep top of mind to be respectful and just be courteous and mindful of what we're doing when we're out there. So I got this purple flower here for him. Sorry, my hair's crazy. I figured that maybe anytime I visit a like gravestone for historical purposes, that I'll leave a piece of Mandy Spooks there and just, you know, give a little love to their grave.
Theodore Fodor Glava was a Transylvanian immigrant who came to America seeking a better life. Much like vampire lore, he was tall, lanky, and pale. It is believed that he lived a humble life as a coal miner before passing away amid the 1918 flu epidemic, not long after the New England vampire panic had begun. Around this time, diseases of this nature were not well understood, which is why people were always grasping for answers to explain the inexplicable. Fodor was buried at Lafayette Municipal Cemetery in Lafayette, Colorado, in what was considered the poorest section of the graveyard at the time. It is a flat gravestone that was hastily carved and inscribed with his birthplace, Transylvania, year of death 1918, and a few other words, including the Romanian word for rose, trandafir. The legend that Fodor was a vampire didn't begin until after his burial, when townspeople were trying to make sense of the epidemic and noticed his gravestone said he was from Transylvania. For generations, locals have told the story about how they dug up the grave and found blood on his mouth. They talk about how his nails were growing and his teeth seemed larger than normal. Despite the fact that this has been proven to be a normal part of the decay process, the townspeople drove a stake through his heart and reburied him. What happened after is quite a sight to see. It is said that a tree grew from the very stake that was driven through his heart. Upon seeing the gravesite, you can easily tell that the tree stands strong where Fodor was laid to rest. Although I thought I might feel weird or scared, I mostly felt sadness. As I placed my flowers, I apologized to Fodor on behalf of the townspeople who misjudged him for being different, for being a misunderstood immigrant. I thanked him for the spooky history he has created in the place I now call home, and promised to visit him again, always with a gift from the heart. Locals say they see a dark figure near his grave at night, but there's only one thing I believe. Fodor is standing tall as a big, strong tree, welcoming those who visit with an open heart.
Okay, we are at the movies and waiting to watch Renfield, so I'll be sharing my thoughts soon. Okay, so we are back home. I promise I have lots of thoughts on Renfield, but do you guys ever get to the point in the day where like all you want to do is take your freaking clothes off, pull your hair off, and like just get really comfy? Because that's definitely how I'm feeling right now. So yeah, your ghoul is gonna get real comfy because it's been a long day. Alright, so I have a confession to make. I planned out like way too many activities for one day, and actually after I ended up like changing into my pajamas, I laid in the bed for a few minutes and just like could not muster up the will to continue for the night. I just took it easy the rest of the night. So today is day 2 of my vampire vlogging experience. I kind of just want to use today to practice some self-scare and get in a little spookworm time, indulge in all the vibes. But of course, before I get into all of that, I owe you guys a review of Renfield. So Renfield was a really great surprise, to be honest. I didn't want to say much before seeing it, but I wasn't very excited about Nicolas Cage as Dracula, if I'm being honest, because I'm just gonna say it. I like attractive vampires, and Nicolas Cage as Dracula was not a vibe for me. But after seeing the movie, I enjoyed it a lot. For those of you who don't know, I do not like slow burns. I don't like slow-paced things. This was action from the beginning. It was so fast. Like, the whole movie was so entertaining and funny, and I really enjoyed it. It was such a pleasant surprise, and now I kind of hope that like they use this as an opportunity to launch the Universal Monsters franchise again. I know they had tried back with like the Tom Cruise Mummy movies and it just didn't work out, but I think Nicolas Cage is strong enough to do that. And he was very funny but also menacing and scary and extra, and there were parts where he really looked like Bela Lugosi, so I really enjoyed it. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I think I would actually give it 5 freaking bats, because there wasn't anything I really didn't like about the movie. I would actually watch it again this weekend if I could. Usually I don't like rewatching movies right away. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And if you're still considering whether or not to watch it, I highly recommend it. It was very gory, and not like the, ugh, this is too much gory, but like the, oh, that's freaking awesome gory, in my opinion. So yeah, I had a great time. So what I'm gonna do is fill my goth milk tumbler with some tangerine mango. I don't really know, I guess, so it's a flavored sparkling water. I wish that I had something more vibey for you guys, but honestly, it's starting to warm up, so I'm not in like a hoodie or anything. I put on this like zipper sweater for you guys, zipper hoodie, I guess, because it's kind of like cool, lets the air flow. And I'm wearing my TVD Mystic Falls shirt for you guys too. I'll probably like throw on Vampire Diaries while I'm just lounging around tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of just like show you guys how important self-scare is. I really wanted to continue and fit everything into one day. I'm gonna start pouring my vampire ice cubes into the tumbler again. I really wanted to keep going and finish the video for you guys last night, but I didn't feel up to it, and I'm trying very hard to be cognizant of creating when I want to and what I feel like creating versus what I should create and know I should be doing. So yeah, we're gonna take it easy today. I put an ask out on my Instagram about which vampire books the community would recommend, and I got some great suggestions. I wanted to give a shout out to I'm Batty Ann for mentioning the Penguin Book of Vampire Stories, I think. I had never heard of it, but apparently Penguin books are like compilations of like history of a certain topic. And so I started reading that one last night, actually, while I was chilling in bed. But I wanted to show you guys some clips of it after this because it was a total vibe. I had no, like, I know this is gonna sound dumb. I had no idea how much history there really is in vampire lore and literature. So like, no joke, literally like 3 pages into the book, I had already learned so much. One of the most shocking things I like immediately learned was that Nosferatu was actually based on Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like, it was an adaptation of it, and it was Stoker's widow that actually, like, I don't know, back then I don't think it was like a copyright thing, I don't know how it worked, but she was the one who actually like put a stop to it being like widely distributed because she wasn't making any royalties off of it. So yeah, I had no idea that Nosferatu was like literally an adaptation of Dracula, which I thought was really cool. I learned that, and then the book kind of like takes all the like historical vampire stories from like the very beginning of vampires in literature and gives you like a little summary at the very beginning of like the history of it. So I had no idea that like the very first vampire story ever created was created at the same place and time as Frankenstein. Whew, blew my mind. So I'm really excited to pick that book up like every now and then. I really love that the stories are already placed in order, and I really love it. Like, I'm gonna see if there's Penguin books about other things now. So I started that, and then I've been listening to a recommendation by Happy Haunts Library. Big shocker, right? My ghoul knows what's up. But I've been listening to, it's called The Lost Girls. I'm letting the app load up. Yeah, so it's right here. It's called The Lost Girls. I am on like chapter, it's gonna go off when I click it, or not.
I pointed to the hill.
There it is. I'm on chapter 10, and there are 29 chapters, so I'm about a third of the way through. And I'm gonna open my water here. If I could describe it, I would say that so far, because I feel like I haven't gotten into like the oomph of the story yet, it is a lot like John Tucker Must Die but make them vampires, if I'm being honest, and I love that. I really love so far the author's way of describing things. This is gonna sound so silly, but like, I love that she puts it in like very simple language that you really understand and like can just completely get without going into so much detail that I'm just like, okay, move on. Because like I said, I don't like slow burns or anything, whether it's on any media, whether it's film, TV, or books. So I really love that like she gets through things very quickly but very descriptive and easy to understand. One of my favorites was like at the very beginning where she's talking about feeding on someone that smelled like cupcakes or something like that, cupcakes or birthday cake, and then she's like, but I realized that the scent was coming from the vaping that the person was doing, and then when she bit into the person, they actually just tasted like protein bars. And like, that sounds so relatable. Like, you know exactly what like flavored vaping smells like, and you also know what protein bars taste like. I just love, and that like, that's how the book continues to describe things, which I think is just like such great writing, like to be able to make things relatable instantly without having to describe it for a whole paragraph long, you know? So I thought that that was really cool. So far, I'm starting to get into the story, but I also kind of feel like I wish it would have moved faster by now. Like I feel like we're still setting it up versus like already going through the actions of what's gonna actually happen. But I'm still interested enough to finish it, and I will let you guys know how I feel once I'm finished with it. And then the other thing I wanted to share was that, sorry, I'm getting distracted talking to you guys. I need to finish filling my cup. The other thing was that there is a Life magazine about vampires that's out right now, and I just wanted to also take this opportunity to share with you guys how you don't have to like buy into all of the trends as hard as it is. I really wanted to go hunting for this magazine that I saw trending in like one of the Facebook groups. I even texted Mr. Spooks and I was like, can we go hunting for this tonight? And then I found out that the magazine was $16, and that's the price of a book, which I get, and I'm sure it has lots of great information in it. It's very spooky, pop culture centric, which is like my brand. I really wanted it, but I was just like, I can afford it right now, but I shouldn't be buying it just because it would be great for the gram, if you know what I mean. So I ended up checking if my library had it in stock maybe, and I haven't gone in person because I don't know if like their in-person magazines might be different, but online they didn't have it. But they did have an older version of a vampires magazine from Life as well. So I ended up checking that out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have not had a chance to like fully read through all of it. I probably won't, but it's pretty cool to just like skim through. And I noticed immediately like that the very first section had the story about the very first vampire story that I was reading alongside in the Penguin book. So I thought that that was just like so cool to be like having companion things that are all supplementing each other, and you get like a different little nugget of information from each one that you can bring together. So yeah, if you guys are really interested in vampire lore or history, these two are a must. I have enjoyed them so much and I just barely got started. So yeah, I'm just vibing, enjoying all the vampire vibes, and I'm realizing that like we could have an entire series of vampire themed vlogs because there's just like so much to learn and explore. So let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in that. I have been talking for way too long and I just realized I forgot my straw, so I need to go get that really quick. Okay, so this little tumbler here is a little goth milk tumbler. I had bought it for my half and half, but it ended up being like really difficult because I realized that the half and half wouldn't keep as long in this container. So now I use it the way it was meant to be, as a tumbler. Oh my god, so good. Mango flavored things are my favorite thing in the world. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you guys. I figured I'll just wrap things up with sharing the rest of my self-scare night with you, which is basically a self-scare vampire night. Please let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in more of these, because I had so much fun. Like, I don't just mean vampire vlogs, but I mean like themed vlogs. Like, this is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. So if you guys are vibing with it, I'm vibing with it. Let's keep going. Let me know like what other themed vlogs you would want. Do we want witches, werewolves, pumpkins, any other theme you can think of? Like, please let me know because I'm so excited to continue doing something like this. And please let me know how you're keeping the spook alive, because I love to connect with you guys and hear what the nerdy ghoul community is up to. All right, that's all. I'm gonna stop blabbing now and get to self-scaring. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video.